Karanam Prakritim Vidu Bhoktritve Sukha Dukkanam Purusham Prakrute Param Karya Karan Katrutve Karanam Prakritim Vidu Bhoktritve Sukha Dukkanam Purusham Prakrute Param Karya Karana Katrutve Karanam Prakritim Vidu Bhoktritve Sukha Dukkanam Purusha Prakrute Param. Word to word. Karya, the body. Karana, the senses. Kartrutve, regarding the demigods. Karanam, the cause. Obviously, there is a material cause, efficient cause, and material cause. We'll see that. Prakritim, material nature. Vidu, the learn, understand. Bhoktrutve, regarding the perception. Sukha, of happiness. Dukkana, and distress. Purusham, the spirit soul. Prakriti, to material nature. Param, transcendental. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. The cause of the conditioned soul's material body and senses, and the senses presiding deities, the demigods, is a material nature. This is understood by learned man. The feelings of happiness and distress of the soul, who is transcendental by nature, are caused by the spirit soul himself. Repeat, the cause of the conditioned soul's material body and senses, and the senses presiding deities, the demigods, is the material nature. This is understood by learned man. The feelings of happiness and distress of the soul, which is transcendental by nature, are caused by the spirit soul himself. So, yeah, this is called adhyas. So, the soul is forgetting. Right now, we are forgetting we are the spirit soul, but we are accepting this gross body and subtle body is ourself. So that is because of adhyas. Many lifetimes we have taken, as in the previous class I was telling that. Just simply simple things, just like we are so much attached, we can't give up even our blankets, we can't give up our sleep, we can't give up our comfortable apartment, home, bed, car, cell phone, whatever we are attached to. This is just a few years or few days, few months. Imagine the soul is accepted for so long. Anadi Bahirmu. So long means we don't know how long that is. It's so long. So then obviously the soul is attracted and attached, deeply attached. So that's why we need a lot of practice. It is a great practice. Tivrena bhakti yoga. Otherwise, there is no way one can come out. That's why we have to. That's why this Prakriti, material nature, examples are given almost canto after canto. Like Bhagavad Gita is also in the third chapter, Krishna is speaking. Fourth chapter, Krishna is speaking. Second chapter, all second, third, fourth, and then obviously the last 6 chapters also Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is concentrating on this material nature, because unless we know what material nature, how it works, and in relation with us, why we are conditioned and how to get out, then there is no way for us to get out. So that, because that is out of 4 anarthas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives Tattva Vibrama, Sadhya Sadhana Vibrama. All these things has to be. Why one is Vibrama, illusion about his position, Supreme Lord's position, our relationship, because we don't know what is our relation with material world, how flickering it is, how temporary it is. It is not engaged in every sense of mind intelligence. Intelligence is not purified. We are not 100% surrendered to Supreme Lord. So that's why we have to be purified with this transcendental knowledge of this material nature by the sadhu. We'll come to that. Purport by Prabhupada. So that is the first thing that Prabhupada explains, and Bhagavad Gita Krishna explains in the 18th chapter also what are the 5 causes. So here also we see that Karanam, Karya, Karana, one must know the real causes, how things work in this material world. Purport by Prabhupada. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that when the Lord descends into this material world, he comes as a person by his own energy, Atma Maya. We should know, Prabhupada saying that. I quote, as a lawyer and prosecutor in the previous class also I was telling, one must know, scrutinizingly one must read. So, as Bhagavatam verse says, scrutinizingly one should read, not a parrot reading. So here Prabhupada is quoting 4.6. We should know immediately, as we read the line, as we read the verse, pretty much we should know what Prabhupada said and where and what. So here the verse is 4.6. Ajopisan Avyatma Bhutanam Iswaropisan Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya Sambhavami Atmamaya. That's how Prabhupada wanted us to read scrutinizingly. It is said that when Lord descends through the material, he comes as a person by his own energy, Atmamaya. He is not forced by any superior energy. Yes, we are being forced but the Lord is not forced. He comes by his own will. Atma Maya means Swamaya, Atma Maya. And this can be called his pastime or Leela. I will also mention further on this that here it means it is also not just the Supreme Lord. Many times we put this sickness, we should never see the spiritual master's body and see that as sickness. Many times we do. And we come to that an extent that not only spiritual masters, sometimes advanced devotees and sadhus also, we see that, oh, so this person has this devotee, always we compare as well as Kanishta Adhikari said, this is the problem. We always see that the other person is suffering. Oh, this person has done. Karma doesn't leave anybody, even the spiritual masters. Karma fal bhog raha hai. ये भी कर्मफल भोग रहे हैं why should I engage in service, why should I chant, why should I hear, why should I practice hearers? This person has done so much service for 30-40 years, he is suffering, he is also getting the reactions of karma. So spiritual master is also suffering, his body is weak or this problem, that problem. But this sickness should not be attributed, this is a pastime. Any spiritual master going as well as the pure devotee like Prabhupada also got heart attacks and he had sickness also a few times, but that sickness is not the same as us conditioned souls having the sickness. It's completely different. It's called pastime of the spiritual master, the pure devotee of the Lord. So we have to clearly know that, otherwise it's an offense. Thinking the spiritual master is also going through the same. So as Bharat Maharaj example has been given, told by Prabhupada and Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, it is not prarabdha karma. One who is going through prarabdha karma and reactions, he doesn't have unmukhi to the bhakti. So one is a pure devotee, one is not under the prarabdha karma. Even in prarabdha karma, there is the auspicious and inauspicious. But the pure devotee is beyond all these things, because there is no karma to begin with. Everything is nullified. There's no, he is on transcendental platform. So when Bhagavad Das, Prabhupada disciple was asking, Prabhupada, you say that we are on the transcendental platform as we are performing Krishna consciousness. Then how is that we are being affected by materialism? Then Prabhupada gives an example that just like you're in the ocean on the samsara dava, this is the ocean of the material nature. You are on the ocean, but you are on the boat. As soon as you are practicing Krishna consciousness, that means you are on the boat, which is, but still, as you are on the boat, you are on the transcendental platform. When you are on the ocean, when you are sitting on the boat, as a waves and wind will come. We don't know what kind of difficulties. It's not going to be a peaceful ride. Sometimes there will be great wind. Sometimes the boat can sink. But that's why you need. So that's how it is. You are on the platform, but you are not perfect yet. You haven't reached the end. You haven't reached the other side of the ocean. You haven't reached the spiritual world. So that means you need to be guided by someone who's expert boatman. That is the spiritual master. So that's why you need to be under the shelter, under the guidance of spiritual. Then you can cross. Until that, because you're not an abhyabhicharani bhakti. Mam chayo abhyabhicharani bhakti yogena sevade sagunan samatityatam brahma bhuyaya. Until that point, you can't deliver yourself. So you need somebody else's guidance. So that's what we have to understand here, that sickness should never be attributed to the spiritual master. We should never think and see that the spiritual master as that conditioned soul. We should not compare us and the spiritual master, because he has seemingly like a human body. He is also eating, he is also sleeping. So that's why we have to be very careful when we associate too much in person, in close connection with the spiritual master. We start comparing. We start thinking that he's also one of us. So, but here it is clearly stated that the conditioned soul is forced to take a certain type of body and senses under the three modes of material nature. That body is not received according to his own choice. In other words, a conditioned soul has no free choice. He has to accept a certain type of body according to his karma. But when there are bodily reactions, so as felt in happiness and distress, it is to be understood that the cause is the spirit soul himself. If we so desire, the spirit soul can change his conditioned life of dualities by choosing to serve Krishna. So his freedom, his choice is there. Just like bank balance is there, $1,000 you give it to 100 people, and somebody who is in Krishna consciousness uses in Krishna service. Those who are not, they will not even use in Krishna service. So that's his choice, his free will, how he will utilize it. He could utilize, even though we might be suffering, even though the $1,000 everybody has, but most of the people are suffering. But if he uses that in Krishna's service while he is suffering, then he will get a spiritual body in next life. He uses fully with full surrender. So that's why we have to make the choice. You can't say that Krishna didn't allow me to do. When Krishna is willing, like Dhritarashtra's case, Dhritarashtra is to tell. Krishna is telling what you are telling. Krishna is, you are right. I should do this, but I can't do it right now. So no, but devotee should do all his best to follow what Prabhupada had to say. The living entity is the cause of his own suffering. So that's a purpose. Satsanga chadile, asata karma vilas, te lagile karana karma bandhapans. As soon as you give up the association of the devotees, so that's why kirtan will or chanting will be proper and nice. Our strength will be, we are protected when you are in the association. The minute you give up the association of the devotees, and minute you give up the shelter of the spiritual master and following his instruction, then we are bound. Automatically, we are bound. So wherever we go for yatra or wherever we are, we should be always under the association of devotees. We should be under the care of an advanced devotee and the bona fide spiritual master. If not, then bound for sure it is going to be guaranteed to fall down from our current position. The living entity is the cause of his own suffering, but he can be the cause of his eternal happiness. So that's why independent is not going to work. So this is the significant point on this verse is one should give up a doer mentality. Karanam. We are thinking I am the doer. As a devotee, also most of the time we are thinking I am the preacher, I am the great, dresser or whatever different qualities we may have, but who is giving that? Somebody is giving that intelligence and power and strength. Who's giving that? Spiritual master is giving. Through Supreme Lord is giving, but through spiritual master. So that's why we need to think everything as a guru service. So then we will not be so caught up with the pride and puja and pratishtha. When he wants to engage in Krishna consciousness, a subtle body is offered to him by the internal potency, the spiritual energy of the Lord. When he wants to satisfy his senses, a material body is offered. This is his free choice to accept a spiritual body or material body. But once the body is accepted, he has to enjoy or suffer the consequences. The Mayavadi philosopher's presentation is that the living entity enjoys his pastime by accepting the body of a hog. This theory is not acceptable. However, because the word pastime implies voluntary acceptance for enjoyment, therefore, this interpretation is most misleading. When there is enforced acceptance for suffering, it is not a pastime. That's what it is. For us, pure devotee, it is a pastime. But for us, it is not a pastime because we are forced to accept the body. We are forced to go through suffering because of our prarabdha karma, pious and impious. The Lord's pastimes and the conditioned living entities' acceptance of karmic reactions are not on the same level. So the Lord means it is also the bona fide spiritual master as well as the pure devotee of the Lord. So let's understand more directly from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, instruction to Sanatana Goswami, and hopefully if we get time, I don't know, I want to read. Prabhupada left his body at November 14th, 1977 at 7:30 p.m. There was a nice conversation. We'll see, maybe at least 5 minutes we should read so that we can actually release the pastimes of Prabhupada. So, Om Ajnanatamrandasya Gnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmiritam Yana Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। श्री रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। So here in this verse, first thing as we mentioned, karya karana kartatve karanam pratak prakritim viduhu. So the karana. So material cause. Let's look at the material cause. In general, the Prabhupada, Lord Krishna himself is speaking in Bhagavad Gita chapter 18, verse number 13. Adhishtanam tata karta karanam pratak vidam vividaiva pratak chesta daivam evatra panchamam. 5 causes. Lord Krishna is explaining 18th chapter. Karanam adhishtanam means the place, the body, action where the action is happening. The agriculture field, also Krishna gives example, kshetra. So this body is place where the action, we are using this body to perform. But right now that has to be purified. So that's why we are most of the times speaking in the previous class, karmadikar stage. So as devotees also we are in the karmadikar stage. As devotees also we are the doership mentality that has to be given up. We are not actually doer. So that's in the second chapter itself. Krishna is mentioning that that famous verse 2.47, that don't be attached to results. Don't think that you are the cause of the results. Why this happened, that happened. Don't think that you should be the cause for that. No, just go on engaging in activities for the pleasure of Krishna. Mm, Famous verse. So that's why this doership mentality comes. That has to be given up. That can be given up, provided we are under the shelter of the spiritual master. We are constantly praying and following his instruction, taking the responsibility. Then we can give up this doership mentality. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Mm, Very difficult. So, adhishtanam tata karta. Karta means soul, the spirit soul who is doing. The first is the body, and the second is the soul. Adhishtanam tata karta karanam. Here also karanam, karanam. Karanam means senses. Karanam, senses, and then because gross body has senses. And karanam pratak vidam. Vividaiva pratak chesta. Various endeavors we perform, like Yashodama is performing. Various endeavor, but to please Krishna. But our endeavor most of the times is something or the other. We do bhakti, but also we want some enjoyment, something in return, so that we are happy. Most of the times we want to do certain service because it gives happiness. I like to do. It's not so much what Guru says. And what Guru says, we may not accept many things. We accept what I like to do. Always we think in that way. So that is why it's not pure bhakti. Because what Guru says, that's what we should be doing it. But we do what we like to do. So there is a big difference there. Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti. So we have to come to the next level, pure bhakti. It takes a lot of practice. So karanam cha pratak vidam vidaiva pratak chesta daivam evatra panchamam. Ultimate authority is God. Unless God sanctions, things may not happen. And Prabhupada said that sometimes the results may not. Results. Don't be attached to results. But our duty is to perform service. Our duty is to offer everything to Guru and Krishna. What Guru will do, whether we'll go back to Golok Vrindavan or whether we go to hell, where we will go, that is up to Guru. We should depend on Guru and then do his service. Guru will do his job. You don't worry about Guru's job. We should worry about our job. Whether we are pleasing Guru and what Guru says, what Acharya says. Then Krishna will do and Guru will do their job for sure, 100% guaranteed. If we do Guru's our duty as what Guru has instructed, what Acharya has instructed, every day reading, every day chanting, Sutva, Anupadito, Dhyato, Anumodito, Sadharma. So immediately Sat Punad Sadharma. So immediately we become purified. If you keep repeating, keep chanting, keep reading, keep hearing, every day one must read, one must hear, one must chant. And one must do some service, at least, if not every day, one must do every week, once a week. And this is the process. As here we see that is the first thing. And then here, Karya Karana, the material cause is the material nature. That's why then the ultimate cause is the Supreme Lord. So that Prabhupada explains in throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita in the beginning, the second chapter itself, we see that three Purushas. Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, Karana again. You'll see that Karana, efficient cause. Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. Or in another way it is mentioned. But the fourth dimension is different. There are three dimensions of these three Purusha avatars. There is some aspect of in relation with Maya. So still it is indirect, but still there is a relation. But for Krishna, there is no touch with material energy, completely no touch at all. So that is Krishna, that is his fourth dimension, is Turiya. There it is mentioned. But these three personalities, Karana means Viraja river, Karana river, the efficient cause. And then you have, that is and then Karana is Vishnu, and then Garbha, Hiranya Garbha, sometimes it's called. And then the third one is Kshira. One is Kshira, one is Garbha, one is Karana. Different oceans. Kshirodaka ocean. Kshirodaka Vishnu. Garbhodaka ocean is inner ocean. Garbho Udaka ocean. So that is Garbhodaka Vishnu. Same way Karana Jal, Viraja river. Karanodaka Sai Vishnu is residing these three ways. So, or another way, the Virat Rupa, we say, that is where Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. So these are the efficient cause, material nature is giving, but that material nature is also glanced by this Purushavatar. Mahavishnu, Karanodaka Sai Vishnu is glancing on, that's why it is coming. So this way we understand the material nature is the material cause, but the actual real efficient cause is the Mahavishnu, as Karanodru Sai Vishnu. So these three Purusha avatars are representing different things. One is the super soul, another one is the soul of the whole universe, and Dantarastu Paramanu Chayantarastu. And then one is the super soul of the all material universes, that is Karanodru Sai Vishnu. That's why there is a hierarchy from Karana Odaka Sai Vishnu to Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, three levels. But Krishna is completely aloof from all this. He's not even directly or indirectly is in touch, because these Purusha avatars are married. That is the first aspect one should understand: material cause and efficient cause. Now let's go back. Then how can we deliver from this fruitive entanglement? Now we have to go back to our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's direct instruction, that how we became conditioned, how we can be delivered from our conditioned nature. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains, Krishna Boli say Jiva Anadi Bahirmukataiva Maya Tare Daye Samsara Dukha. He is explaining, this is Sanatana Goswami. Forgetting Krishna, the living entity, has been attracted with external feature from time immemorial. Therefore, the illusory energy Maya gives him all kinds of misery in this material nature. Then what one should do? Then he explains that now, Kabu Swarga Utai, sometimes we are in the happiness, sometimes in distress, sometimes in the demigod, sometimes as an ant, sometimes insect. So we are jumping up and down from one branch to another branch. Then what we are supposed to do? Sadhu Shastra Krupa Yadi Krishna Unmukha Hoy, say Jivan Istare, Maya Tahare, Chadaye. So one can give up. When he can give up, if the conditioned soul becomes Krishna conscious by the mercy of the saintly persons who voluntarily preach scripture in Jam, Sadhu Shastra Krupa. If we have Sadhu and Shastra, Guru, Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. But it's actually Guru, Vaishnava, Hari. First, we need mercy, not jumping to Krishna, but Guru and Vaishnava's mercy is needed more than Krishna's mercy. Krishna will give his mercy when Guru is pleased. So that's why Lord Krishna is also telling Uddhava, quoting Yat, what is that? Yeah. Pururava's example is giving quoting, and he is telling that one who is intelligent, sastu sajjeta buddhiman, mano vyasangam muktibi. So one who is intelligent, he will always, under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master, associate with the devotees and engage in service. Sastu sajjeta buddhiman, mano vyasangam. Otherwise, the mind cannot be purified, period. So we will be always in the material entanglement unless we are under the guidance of the devotees and in that association, and we are doing service. Deity worship is also very prominent, because the attachment to transfer to the Supreme Lord, we should be also attached to the deity service at home or at temple, or directly or indirectly. We should be very much attached and do service and chanting and hearing. Otherwise, both things are not there, then it is very difficult to give up. So further, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing here that one must, as Lord Krishna expanded himself, Maya Mukta Jivera Nahi Swata Krishna Gnan, Jivera Krupaya Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. The conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort. Same instruction we see repeatedly. Prahlad Maharaj also instructing. Matirna Krishna Parata Sudho. Neither by yourself nor by somebody else forcing you to take up Krishna. It is not possible. But it is possible by spiritual master's mercy. Gurus, that's why we need these pure devotees. The conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort, but out of causeless mercy, Lord Krishna compiled the Vedic literature and it supplements the Puranas. That means Shastra, Sadhu, Guru always instill faith and instill Krishna consciousness into us. They will deliver us if provided we take shelter. That's why Krishna himself is expanding here. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing to Sanatana. Shastra Guru Atma Rupe Apanara Janam Krishna Mora Prabhu Trata Jivera Hayagnan. If the forgetful conditioned soul is educated by Krishna through the Vedic literature, realized spiritual master and super soul, through these he can understand the Supreme Personality of God as he is. But we are not taking shelter. Neither we are taking Guru shelter, neither we are reading Shastra every day, nor hearing it. No matter what, before sleeping, we must read one verse of Bhagavad Gita, one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, at least one book we should read. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya. These three books has to be read regularly. At least if we don't, at least one book we read, one verse at least. Ideally, self-print means you are joining class, but on top of it, we should read one verse at least. Otherwise, there is no way to deliver ourselves. So much confusion, unwanted things are in the heart. How it will be? How we can come out of it? How we can put into practice something which we haven't thoroughly understood and assimilated it. When will you assimilate? When you practice, when you hear, when you read. Otherwise, you can't assimilate. You can't put into practice something which we haven't understood thoroughly. So that's why here Krishna is telling that how he is appearing. Forgettable guy is educated by Krishna through Vedic literatures. He can understand Lord Krishna is his eternal master and deliver from the clutches of Maya. In this way, one can acquire real knowledge of his conditional life and can come to understand how to attain liberation. Further, he is telling that Veda Shastra kahe sambandha videya prayojan Krishna prapya sambandha bhakti praptera sadhan. The Vedic literature gives information about the living entity's eternal relation with Krishna, which is called sambandha. Living entity's understanding of his relationship and his acting accordingly is called avideya. And returning home back to Godhead is the ultimate goal of life and is called prayojan. And then he gives an example of the person who has lost everything and is suffering in this material world, Sarvagna, the pastime of the Sarvagna, going to Sanatana Goswami. He was lost completely and he is so poor and he wants something which is at least he can survive. So then Sanatana Goswami, through that here, the following parable may be given, but time is up. Once a learned astrologer came to the house of a poor man and seeing his distressed condition, questioned him. The astrologer asked, "Why are you unhappy? Your father is very wealthy, but he did not disclose his wealth to you because he died elsewhere." Just the words of the astrologer Sarvagna gave news of Purman's treasure. The Vedic literature advised one about Krishna consciousness. One is inquisitive to know why he is in distressed material condition. By the words of the astrologer, Purman's connection with the treasure was established. Similarly, the Vedic literature advised that our real connection is with Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and through Guru. Although being assured of his father's treasure, poor man cannot acquire this treasure by such knowledge alone. Therefore, the astrologer had to inform him of the means where he could get easily find the treasure. Then the astrologer said that the treasure is in this place, but if you dig towards southern direction, wasps and drones will rise, you will not get your treasure. If you dig on the western side, there is a ghost who will create such a disturbance that your hands will not even touch the treasure. If you go on the northern side, there is a big black snake that will destroy your attempt to dig up the treasure. However, if you dig up the small quantity of dirt on the eastern side, that's why when we are doing Gayatri, either eastern side or northern side, we have to do. So your hands will immediately touch the pot of treasure, which is the pure devotion service one must engage in. That is, this revealed scripture concludes one should give up the fruitive activities, speculative knowledge, mystic yoga system, and instead take to devotion service by which Krishna can be fully satisfied. Bhaktya Krishna Vasahaya Bhaktya Tare Bhaji. Tanre Bhaji. I'll stop here, already 7:01, but it's significant as pure devotion service is not so easy unless we are under the shelter of Guru and Krishna and following their instructions, not what we like to do, but what they like us to do, what they want us to do. So that is the only way we can actually give up this karma kanda vichar, gnana kanda vichar, yoga kanda vichar, and come to the path of pure devotion, perfection. Prabhupada ki jai, Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakti ki jai.
Thank you, Krishna Babu. We'd like to wish you all a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead and weekend ahead. We'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Narsingho, Jai Narsingho, Jai Jai Narsingho, Praladesha, Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa,
Ugraveram,
Ugraveera Mahavishnu, Jyolantam Sarvatomukham, Narsingam, Vishnum, Bhadram, Nityam, Nityam, Namamiham, Singha Bhagwan ki Jai,
Jai,
Prahlad Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai.
Could you try again?
Oh, I don't know what happened here.
One can't know everything, can one?
Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpataru vaisya sindhu bhaya vachapatitanam pavane Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Govinda ki jai.
Jai,
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai,
Bhagavad ki jai.
Jai.
Coming Sunday is Gopastami also. So We'll be Monday is Gopasmi, but we'll be celebrating that on Sunday in the evening. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Bindi.
Hare
Thank you.
Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare